Now comes the last apparition and the great miracle. We would have to imagine all this area here, of course with nothing built around, just the trees and the fields. It was a day of torrential rain, and it is calculated that a multitude around 70,000 people was here. Also my grandparents were witnesses to this great event. It is a day of torrential rain, but at noontime, says Lucia, we reached the Olmok in the Cove area. Once there, moved by an interior impulse, I asked the people to shut their umbrellas and say the Rosary. So they start to pray the Rosary. A little later, we saw a flash of light, and then Our Lady appeared on the Olmok. What do you want of me? Asked Lucia. I want to tell you that a chapel is to be built here in my honor. I am the Lady of the Rosary. Continue always to pray the Rosary every day. The war is going to end, and the soldiers will soon return to their homes. So Our Lady kept her identity till the last apparition, October, the 6th apparition. I am the Lady of the Rosary. Why? Surely to stress the importance how she wants to be known as the Lady of the Rosary. Why? Because she wants us to pray every day, daily, the Rosary. Then Lucia continues, I have many things to ask of you, the cure some sick persons, the conversion sinners, and other things. Some yes, but not others. They must amend their lives and ask forgiveness for their sins. So to ask God for forgiveness for one's sins is the first condition for the graces, for the cure, for each and every intention that people were asking. Then, looking very sad, Our Lady said, do not offend our Lord God anymore, because He is already so much offended. Now, if we think that Our Lady said this here in 1917, almost 100 years ago, how sad would she be today with the situation going in the world of this paganism, hedonism, apostasy of the faith that's going rampant in the whole world. One more reason for us to be faithful, to do reparation to her Immaculate Heart. Now, opening her hands, she made them reflect on the sun as she ascended, and the reflection of her own light continued to be projected on the sun itself. It was then that the great miracle promised 3 months before took place, as the proof of the truth of these apparitions. The rain stopped, and the sun spun round on itself 3 times. So the sun was going up and down round, with all the colors of the rainbow in all directions. At a certain stage, it appeared that detached from the sky and about to fall upon the multitude, who lived through some terrible, terrifying moments. After then, 10 minutes, the prodigy ceased, and the sun took its normal position. So this was really something extraordinary. And from what my mother transmitted, that my grandmother had told her, my grandparents, is that they were convinced it was the end of the world. And what can one think? Because in all our daily lives they had seen the sun from sunrise to sunset, and now there was the sun going around dancing and almost looking like it was going to crash down on earth over them. So many knelt down and started to do acts of contrition and asking God forgiveness for their sins, because they were completely convinced this is the end of the world. Now finally the sun took again its position in the sky, and then only the 3 children saw around the sun this vision that Our Lady already had prophesied in September. They saw Saint Joseph with the child Jesus, and Saint Joseph blessing the world, and Our Lady robed in a white and blue mantle beside the sun. They traced the sign of the cross with their hands, Saint Joseph and the child Jesus. Then a little later, the apparition disappeared. I saw Our Lord and Our Lady. It seemed to me that it was Our Lady of Sorrows. Then Our Lord also blessing the world in the same manner as Saint Joseph had done. And as this apparition had vanished, we saw Our Lady once more as Our Lady of Mount Carmel. So Our Lady appeared here also dressed as Our Lady of Mount Carmel. So surely as to stress the importance, how she loves we wear we are engaged in the scapular of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. As we know, it's also a protection of Our Lady, and it was given almost 8 centuries ago to Saint Simon Stock, a Carmelite priest to which Our Lady gave the scapular as a sign of protection for these times we are living now in the world. And so this was the great miracle of the sun. And after this great miracle, everyone looked around and touched themselves. Everything was completely dry, like on a summer day, like if no drop of rain had fallen that day. So no one can say this was a collective psychological imagination, whatever. It was a real thing. People have come for miles, walked in the mud, soaked in water, and after this 10-15 minutes of the great miracle of the sun, everything was completely dry, the soil, themselves, the garments, like on a summer day. So a miracle of this magnitude, only God could have done it.